Hey everyone, welcome to the Autoimmune Dietitian YouTube channel. My name is Annie. I'm a registered dietitian and I work with people struggling with autoimmune diseases. In my work with my clients, I help them use both food and lifestyle as a way to improve their symptoms and hopefully let them live the lives that they would love to live if they didn't have an autoimmune disease. So when it comes to eating for autoimmune disease support, the most common word thrown around is anti-inflammatory. This is because inflammation can aggravate autoimmune disease symptoms, so fighting inflammation is one way to feel better. Diets are labeled anti-inflammatory when they contain foods that fight inflammation. But can foods actually lower inflammation? They can. And here's how they do it and which foods you should try to include to lower inflammation in your body. So before I jump in, I just need to attach a disclaimer to this video that the information in today's talk is not the substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or care of disease by a medical provider. This is for informational purposes only. Please consult your qualified health professional for any changes you make to your medical care. So anti-inflammatory foods fight chronic inflammation in your body. Inflammation is your body's natural process to repair and restore itself. However, when inflammation doesn't resolve, this is what happens in autoimmune diseases. The inflammation becomes chronic and can cause damage to your cells. So this is why anti-inflammatory foods are so important. They contain specific compounds that protect your cells, sequester free radicals that damage your cells, lower oxidative stress, support the gut microbiome, and can even lower pain chemicals to provide relief. So here are some of the important anti-inflammatory compounds and where you find them. The first one are antioxidants. So antioxidants do just as they say, they are antioxidants. Oxidants are technically free radicals, which are unpaired electrons, and these compounds bounce around our body and cause damage to cellular structures. We get them as a byproduct of normal metabolic processes, and they are also released from the inflammatory responses in our body as well as from our immune system. Free radicals also come from external sources like pollution, processed foods, smoking or secondhand smoke or smoke from wildfires, and UV rays from the sun. So antioxidants sequester or gather up free radicals in the body so they don't cause damage. It's also important to note that keeping antioxidants in the body is a really good way to prevent inflammation from happening. When someone has a good balance of antioxidants and free radicals, this means that less inflammation and damage will occur. Antioxidants are found in most fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, lean proteins, and spices. There are a number of different types of antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, polyphenols, which is why it's recommended to eat a variety of colors and plant foods. Each one has a unique function, so the more you have inside of you, the better. The second anti-inflammatory compound is fiber. Fiber seems like a strange one, but it's not when you think about the gut and the impact on the body. So fiber is a non-digestible carbohydrate that's found in plants. And we all know fiber for its use in bowel regularity, but it also plays an important role in managing inflammation. So first, certain types of fiber help feed the microbiome, which affects and influences almost every process in our body. This is also really important because 70% of our immune cells live just beyond our intestinal lining. So keeping everything happy down there is super important for lowering inflammation. Also, fiber helps regulate blood sugar, and having erratic blood sugar swings can exacerbate inflammation. Fiber is found in all plant foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes. The last component I'm going to talk about is omega-3 fatty acids. And I talk about this one a lot, and rightly so, because omega-3s are the big kahunas when it comes to fighting inflammation. They do this in a number of ways. So first, they're able to lower markers of inflammation like C-reactive protein and interleukin-6. Omega-3s can stop the enzyme called cyclooxygenase, or COX, which produces a hormone that triggers inflammation. And here's a fun fact, ibuprofen and aspirin are also COX inhibitors. So it's like taking a natural form of NSAIDs. And white blood cells tend to release inflammatory chemicals during the inflammation process, and so omega-3s can actually reduce those amounts to have them release less. So there's lots of research studies on omega-3s and their impact on inflammation, specifically joint pain and stiffness. So omega-3s are found in fatty fish like salmon and also plant-based foods such as avocados and walnuts. So now that you know a few of the major players in anti-inflammatory foods, what is the best way to eat them? The key here is variety. As I stated before, the more variety of plants you get into your body, the more chances you have of getting different chemicals and compounds in there that fight inflammation. My go-to weekly goal is 30 different plant foods per week. And then layer in your healthy proteins. Eating somewhere between 3 to 6 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per day is a great goal, which is a lot easier than you think. For instance, a 4 to 5 ounce piece of salmon has around 3 grams of omega-3 fatty acids. So here's how you can kind of check to see where you're at in terms of your variety of plant foods. Log what you eat over the course of a week and then add up how many different plants you eat. And if you need to add more, here's a few tips. You can make a salad with 3 to 4 different types of lettuce. Each lettuce variety counts as a plant. Use spices. Spices are so underutilized but have a really high concentration of polyphenols and also count as a plant. If you like nuts and seeds, getting a mixed handful of them in will count towards your plant count. Each nut and seed is different, so count those individually. And then lastly, if you haven't tried a CSA box, it'll force you to try and use different vegetables. So just to recap, today we focused on what anti-inflammatory foods are, the main compounds that fight inflammation, and where you find them in foods. So if you need help to lowering your inflammation or just help with your autoimmune disease, I would love to chat with you. I offer free 15-minute discovery calls. You can go to my profile in YouTube and click on the book a discovery call link to book that. It's also on my website, AnnieRubin.com. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. These come out about every week. I love giving people tips on how to live gracefully with their autoimmune disease. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.